Destiny 2, a game that for years has been called dead, a failure, and a mess, but if you've actually played it, you know that's not the full story. Bungie has spent years refining, improving, and listening to the community to shape Destiny 2 into something incredible. So today, we're setting the record straight. Let's talk about how Destiny 2 has evolved into the game we have now, and why it deserves more credit than it gets. At launch, Destiny 2 had problems. The double primary system felt restrictive, static roles killed the grind, and Eververse overshadowed rewards. Many longtime players felt like Destiny had lost its magic. While the core gunplay remained top tier and the foundations were there, Bungie was losing players so fast they were about to have to shut down the game for good. Then, Bungie made a choice. They listened. Forsaken wasn't just an expansion, it was a turning point. Random roles were back, weapon loadouts were flexible again, and we got one of the best raids in Destiny history. The Dreaming City was breathtaking, filled with secrets, and an evolving curse cycle that kept things fresh. Gambit was a bold new mode that, love it or hate it, added another layer to the game. Forsaken also gave us one of the most memorable story beats in Destiny's history, the shocking death of Cayde 6. This moment set the tone for an expansion that brought depth, emotion, and stakes to the world of Destiny in a way we had never seen before. Bungie proved they were willing to course correct, and it didn't stop there. With the addition of new supers and an emphasis on playstyle diversity, Forsaken wasn't just about fixing mistakes, it was about pushing the game forward. New exotic weapons and armor changed the meta, and the Triumph system encouraged players to chase long-term goals. It was a reinvention, and Destiny 2 started to feel like a game with endless possibilities once again. Since then, Destiny 2 has only gotten better. Shadowkeep introduced Armor 2.0, giving us deeper customization and build crafting options. Beyond Light reworked subclasses with stasis and set the stage for 3.0 subclass updates, bringing more build crafting than ever. The Witch Queen delivered the best campaign in franchise history. And then there's the seasonal model. While it has had its ups and downs, it has allowed Bungie to continually evolve the world, offering new weapons, activities, and lore. It's a far cry from the content droughts of the past, ensuring there's always something new to chase. The evolving world means that Destiny is never stagnant, and new challenges keep players engaged. With the introduction of legendary campaigns, Bungie finally gave newer PvE players a real challenge that was more accessible than raids or dungeons. Crafting allowed players to fine-tune their weapons to fit their exact playstyle. The weapon balance updates brought underused weapons into the spotlight, keeping the meta fresh and exciting. Every live service game has natural dips in player activity between content drops. It's normal. But certain YouTubers love to capitalize on these slower periods, throwing out dramatic thumbnails and titles claiming Destiny 2 is dying or, quote, in its worst state ever. The reality? Player counts spike every time a new expansion or major update drops, with overall year-to-year numbers going up. It's a cycle that's been happening for years. These clickbait videos aren't just misleading, they're toxic to the community. They spread negativity, discourage new players, and fuel unnecessary outrage. Destiny 2 isn't perfect, but claiming it's dead every few months just to farm views does nothing but hurt the game and the people who love it. Now let's be fair. Bungie has made mistakes. The content vaulting decision reasonably frustrated players who lost access to paid content. Certain time gates felt restrictive and unnecessary, and double primary at the beginning of Destiny 2 was nightmare fuel. But what matters is that Bungie has recognized these issues and time and again worked to course correct. What gets overlooked most is that Bungie listens to constructive criticism and feedback. Sunsetting is gone forever. PvP feels more balanced now than ever before. Match game is gone. Quality of life changes are frequent and targeted to community feedback, such as loadouts, buffs and debuffs reworks, removing blue gear at a certain level, adding activity markers to locations, and so much more that we could be here for hours. Over the past couple years, the speed at which Bungie has been responding to feedback has only gotten faster. The past 3 episodic models have changed in response to our feedback from the previous ones. They've tuned encounters of new content within weeks of player requests. And with the announced changes coming in the next year, they are making huge changes that the community has been asking for, including what seems to be a robust new player experience, specific solo content, and a massive overhaul to the armor system. Now, of course, we can't ignore the recent struggles. The final shape delay and Bungie's layoffs shook the community. Concerns about leadership decisions and PvP support still linger, and there's no denying that some players still feel burned. Setbacks, however, don't mean failure. They pave the way for something greater. With the final shape now released, it's clear that Bungie delivered on their promise. The best expansion, the best raid, and 2 of the best dungeons in Destiny history. This is the game at its peak. Community support is stronger than ever, and Destiny 2 isn't just evolving, it's thriving. One thing that often gets misjudged is how strong and passionate the Destiny 2 community really is. The vast majority of players love the game, support its growth, and engage in positive ways, whether through in-game events, fan art, or constructive feedback. On Steam, Destiny 2 holds an 80% positive review score, proving that most players appreciate what Bungie has created. Unfortunately, it's the loud minority and money-hungry YouTubers who create a false narrative. They thrive on outrage and negativity, making it seem like the entire community is against the game, when that's simply not the case. Destiny's player base is filled with Guardians who love the game, want to see it thrive, and support each other in ways that go beyond just playing. Destiny 2 has outlasted countless other live service games. Titles that were once considered major competitors have come and gone, while Destiny remains stronger than ever. The sheer longevity of Destiny proves that it has something special. If it were truly a bad game, it wouldn't still be here, thriving nearly a decade later. If you have hundreds or thousands of hours in the game like me, you already agree that it's a good game. Take a second to look at how many hours you have in other games. And if you're new here, know that the game has continued to grow, adapt, and retain a dedicated player base. It speaks volumes that, despite the challenges, players keep coming back. Destiny has become more than just a game. It's a universe that players want to be a part of for the long haul. So, next time someone says Destiny is dead, ask them when they last played. Because if they haven't stepped into the game recently, they're missing out on one of the best live service experiences out there. And with the Frontiers expansion just months away, Destiny's best days might still be ahead. This game has had its struggles, sure. But through it all, Bungie has shown a commitment to improving and growing the game alongside its players. If you step into Destiny today, you're playing one of the richest, most refined shooter experiences available.